Hi everyone, and welcome to my YouTube channel. My name is Yusuf. In this video, I'm going to be showing about Knight-Hennessy scholarship at Stanford University in the USA. And what you should expect in this video is it's just a tip on how to apply for the scholarship and how to apply generally in terms of the eligibility, the criteria, and the deadline required, and sample of essay involved to submit your application for the scholarship as well. So let's quickly talk about the scholarship. So why this scholarship? Why do you want to apply for Knight-Hennessy scholarship? One, you need to understand the objective of the scholarship, and there are three things that are very paramount that are kind of ring-fence the whole thing about the scholarship. One, they're looking for scholars that have an independent thought or independence of thought. They're looking for purposeful leaders. They're looking for leaders with civic mindset. So these three things are very important. You need to understand these, and these need to be reflected in all of your essays, in all of your submissions, everything you're submitting, your recommendation letter, your SOP, the essays you're going to be writing, this need to reflect. Please don't joke with this. This is the criteria they're using to judge or to select. So that's why KHS and the eligibility is for. Let's look at the eligibility criteria because this is very important. Knight-Hennessy scholar has no restriction based on age, college, or university, field of study, or career aspiration. So we encourage citizens and residents of all countries to apply. So it means you can apply if you're citizens of any country in the world. So, but to be eligible, there are other things you also need to meet, other conditions you also need to meet. The first thing is that this scholarship only fund DMA, JD, MA, MBA, MD, MFA, MPP, MS, or PhD programs. So there's a lot of them you can apply to get the scholarship. But the first thing is that you need to understand that applying for a Knight-Hennessy scholar, you're applying for that separately, and you're applying for admission for a graduate program at Stanford University as well separately. I will repeat this once again. You are submitting two separate applications, one for Knight-Hennessy scholarship and one for your chosen course or your desired course at Stanford University as well. So you also need to meet one of these conditions. You can read it yourself, but these are just basically reiterating what I've said. The requirement 2 is very important. Requirement 1 is test admission to Stanford. You need to get that admission at Stanford University. It means you cannot be reckless with your application to Stanford University, because tell me, if you eventually win your application for Knight-Hennessy and you don't get admission into Stanford, so so what happens? So it means you need to submit a very strong application in both cases. So requirement 2 on the graduate degree date. This is very important. So it means you must have earned your first bachelor degree by January 2020, 2019 or later. It's very important. So it means if you have your bachelor degree, let's say in 2018, 17, 16, you cannot apply for this scholarship. You have to get your bachelor degree in 2019 upward, like January 2019 upward, like 2020, 2021, 2022 to decide the eligible. So if you have it before, you can't. And these are the frequently asked questions. It's very important for you to check this out. And if you have any question regarding this, please check here. They have the answers to your question here. If I graduate in 2018 or before, for instance, may I still become a Knight-Hennessy scholar? No. You are not eligible to apply. So you cannot apply for if you have it. So that's that about the requirement. And you can also see here application to honorary this. You are not eligible as well to apply for this scholarship. If you want to study for these courses, Doctor of Science of Law, Masters of Legal Studies, these things, you are not eligible for this scholarship. So but you can use this scholarship to study for masters and for PhD, but not these courses. So quickly, let's look at the criteria. Again, independence of thought. They mentioned that again. We seek visionary thinkers who are curious, open-minded. So make sure whatever you are writing reflect all of these things. I'm going to be showing some essay samples to guide you, but you see a reflection of these things in those essays. So purposeful leadership, civic mindset. These three things are very important. So date and deadline. Just quickly come down here. So you will submit an application to Knight-Hennessy Scholar. The Knight-Hennessy Scholar application deadline is October 8, 2025. So you still have time to submit your application for this. But you need, I said the other time, you need to submit a separate application to your desired program at Stanford University. Take for instance, if you click on this desired program, you get this, and we need to explore the graduate programs. I just click on explore graduate programs, and I just come right here to filter my options to Graduate School of Education and Doctor of Philosophy in Education, for instance. So you can see Education PhD, and I just expand these, and this is about the program and testing requirement. Do I need IELTS? Do I need all of these things to submit my application for the scholarship? You don't need to. You can click on this GSC application requirement, check the requirement to submit your application for this program, PhD, MA, and MS requirement. Underneath, you would see the requirement, application form. You need to submit an application form. You need to pay application fee, but they can waive this condition for you. How? You can see here, you can waive this condition with us in three ways. I'm going to advise you to explore this program participation based waiver. So you can participate in their graduate school fair, or this information fair. They just come talk to you about their graduate programs and all of those things. So once you attend, they're going to be sending you a code waiver that you're going to be imputing when you're applying for your admission, and that fee is going to be waived for you. You can email the graduate team of this university to send you list of those graduate fair programs so that you can attend. They have their dates and all. If you even scrutinize this website very well, you will see the dates they having these things, so you can attend and get your waiver. Sometimes when you write them a letter as well explaining your financial stance, they can also waive this condition for you. I'm aware of that. I've done that a couple of times in the past when I was looking for admission in the US. So you need statement of purpose, which you can find on my CV. You need resume as well. You need statement of purpose. You need resume, which is CV. You can get sample of these through recommendations. You can get sample of these on my YouTube channel. You can see a personal statement. This is a sample that won me scholarship. This is definitely going to be helpful if you are writing yours. And this is a sample of an academic CV, and this video is going to be helping you to understand how you can maximize the page of your, like that one, because you expect to submit a one-page CV for the scholarship. University transcript, GRE. Do you need GRE? You don't need GRE. However, applicants, GCSE will not require GRE for application, so you don't need the GRE to get admitted into this program. And do you also need English proficiency? You don't need this. I have checked these. If you study in a university where English language was used as a medium of instruction, you don't need to submit English language proficiency exams or test results. So just get a letter from your university saying that English language was used, and upload that when you're applying for your admission, and that condition, or this condition, is going to be waived for you. We've explored a program, for instance, but don't forget that what I shared is just using PhD education as an example. If whatever you want to choose, it varies. The requirement varies based on program. So we're done with before you apply. Then let's check preparing your application. So preparing your application, what do you need? You need to submit an online application. This is where you get that link to apply for KHS application itself, like the Knight-Hennessy scholars application itself. You need resume, like I mentioned at the time. You need one-page resume. If you check here, prepare a one-page resume that includes this. So it's just one-page resume. Transcript and test score, you need to submit these. Recommendation letters is very important, and the recommendation letter is kind of different from the generic one we normally submit for admission. So if you check here, you would see they are asking for 2 individuals who have necessary knowledge of your requirement and additional instructions, so you can read this yourself to have an understanding of what is expected. But advice for recommenders is very important for you to share this with your recommenders, because they have prompts, they have what they want from them. And see, please explain these like 5 prompts they want from them. And there are also some question and answer kind of questions they want from them as well, like rating things they want from them. And short answer and essay. So these are the short answer and essay. See here, there are 3 questions they want. short-term and long-term goals. Tell us how you've engaged with someone with a different perspective, blah blah blah. And the last one is you need to submit this. It's an essay, and the essay is about how have the influences in your life shaped you. So let's quickly explore the samples that are going to guide you. Please do not copy these, just use these as guide. They're not the best out there, but yeah, I just wrote that to kind of give you a background, a feel of what is expected of you to submit. So look at the short-term and long-term academic and professional intentions or goals that I've drafted. In my short term, my focus will be on successfully beginning my PhD in education, because don't forget, this scholarship, this whole thing is about you going to study, and part of your goal is to maybe to get a master's, to get a PhD. If you're doing your PhD, your goal should be passing that candidacy exam, drafting your proposal, immersing yourself in literature review, and seeing the gaps out there. These are part of your goals. You cannot finish your PhD and immediately become the Minister of Finance. Of course, you can become a Minister of Finance, but it's procedural. It takes years to get into these things. So it's not something you can just achieve like immediately. So be very specific about your goals. Be very realistic about your goals. If you read these things yourself, you can take a screenshot. You have an understanding of how I structure that short and long-term goal. The same thing is applicable to this as well. Engagement with a different perspective. This is just me trying to communicate an instance of where I was working as a program development officer with YEI, and what happened during one of our community engagement programs, and how I was able to manage that situation and see things from a different perspective. You can read this as well and have an understanding of the whole thing. 8 improbable facts about me. This is very important. They have definition for these things that looks like impossible, but it's actually possible. It was actually true. That's what improbable means. Things that actually sounds like non-realistic or not possible, but they're actually true. So I have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. I just stopped. You can add this yourself and add your own and have that 8. But don't forget, this one is just 150 words. And the essay topic, connect the dots. How have the influences in your life shaped you? And here, this is just me trying to talk about a story of how I was in a public school in Nigeria, and how I see my classmates drop out of school because of family reasons, because of some societal issues like terrorism, like communal clashes and all. So this is just me trying to saying all of these experiences, and when I get into the university and eventually when I finish university, things I'm doing as a program development officer for an NGO that are into students with displacement experience. So that kind of me connecting that dot, like this is my background, connecting that dot with what I'm currently doing. That's what the essay is all about. You can read this yourself. I don't want to waste more time on that, but you can read this yourself to kind of have an understanding of what I'm trying to say. So these are just sample of the essay. Please don't copy paste. Just use as guide to write your own. That's about the essay prompt. So, again, this improbable fact, I've talked about that the other time, but this is what it means. They define them. These are things that looks like they're not true, but unlikely, but they're actually true. And after short answer, then we move to after your application. After you apply, what happens? Evaluation process. You can see evaluation process. You can see that one here, and you can see KHS invitation only requirement. So this one is like they're inviting you. We're looking for these blah blah. They're gonna be inviting you to provide these things, but it's by invitation only. So please check this. Watch out for this if you eventually get through this page. But see here, evaluation process. Let's click on this to see what it's all about. What is this all about? Read this yourself. But here, while these people do not review your Stanford degree program, they themselves do not review, but they check in at regular interval with Stanford degree to verify which KHS applicant have submitted their degree program's application and remain competitive for admission. So you can see what they do. And Stanford degree programs communicates the admission decision to you on its own distinct time, so they cannot influence that. Stanford does that. So please submit your application simultaneously to Stanford and as well as KHS. And how are you going to be evaluated? See here, independence of thought, purposeful leadership, and civic mindset. These things kept appearing everywhere on their website, so it's very important. Don't joke with it. And review by these additional requirements, these. So read all of those things. These are what's expected after your application. But when you want to submit your application, just go to preparing your application once again and just click on apply. Or even on almost all the pages on their website, you can see this apply to join the 2026 cohort. Click on this, enter your email and create an account and start your application. Once the essay is done, the whole thing is done, boom, just submit your application. That's all about the scholarship. If you have any other question, please visit their FAQ, frequently asked questions. They have a lot of question guides and answers there that can help you with yours as well. But if you can't find your answer there, drop them on this video. I'll try my best to respond to them. Don't forget to like, share and subscribe so that you can get notified when I share useful information like this. Bye.